Hi, John Marshall, DrillMaster. This is the fish drill team. This is the color guard from a few years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, and I owe this critique to a friend of mine. All right, so even though it's older and it doesn't matter for this team, you can still take the critique that I offer and learn from it. All right. What I see here is so far is really good. Alignment is slightly out, and you can tell because of the heels here, just slightly. And then the Marine Corps color spade is not flat, so a spade marker would definitely work.
Present toast. Good afternoon, Gunnery Sergeant. The Fighting Texas Aggie Fish Drill Team, class of 2012.
So you're cutting the cake with the Marine Corps color. So you've gone from the edge to flat.
Toast.
Yeah, you can watch it turn there. So for any kind of joint work, you never cut the cake. The spade's always flat. And it's only for Marine Corps. Marine Corps colors.
2025. Request permission to utilize your drill area, Gunnery Sergeant. Aye, Gunnery Sergeant.
Slight butt out here, just slight. Pulling it back in would work better. Left guard looks really good. Excuse me. So that there's the guidance in the Marine Corps order is that you bring the staff out just like you did fine with that. Right there. That's fine. So then commander gives colors, and what you're supposed to do is bring the staff down, not let it slide. It's kind of interesting that you let it slide through. So you're checking for my dogs so I don't back over them. All right, so you're here, and I'll use a miniature version here so you can see both my hands. So you're here with the staff, and then what you're supposed to do next is to then bring it down. So, and obviously I'm not, I only have this little box in front of me to keep into the frame here. So you bring the staff down to the side, and then once it's at the side, you let the staff slide through your hands. And I'm not bringing down my hands enough, but you know that the right hand would come all the way down to your right side, and then your left forearm is supposed to be horizontal, and that's why you let the staff slide through your hands. You keep that left horizontal, then you're going to reach up, gather your color, and continue. Yeah, so you set down instead, and you lengthened the staff, let it slide through your right hand, then brought the staff down. Hi, good boy. Then brought the staff down, and then placed it down when it should be. Bring the staff over, let it slide.
Ready. Judge.
So one thing, Marine Corps color bearer, you're going back and forth and back and forth twice now, and then commander already thinks you're taken care of, but you go back and you go back. So one thing you have to do is make sure that you've gathered the color. It needs to be so the staff is next to you, the color is with your wind here. Color is coming back this way. You need to have the color underneath your right arm, and then bring your right arm to the strong grip, so that the color is on the right of the staff and the left of your right arm, and it needs to be solidly in there. So going back like that a couple of times, that's a bad thing to do. So I want to just go back here. I'll go back to, where are we? We're at 502. Okay. I just want to see something. I'm looking at your left hands. Nothing's changed. That's fine, but the thumbs aren't along the seams of your trouser legs, except for left guard. Everybody seems to have their thumbs just forward. It's as if you're doing ceremonial work, and the middle finger is on the seam of the trouser legs. So you can see that spade marker would not go amiss, that's for sure. Good. Now, one of the things for parade, and you're coming back to attention, you don't have to do that. You're actually not supposed to. And this is not widely known, but with the commander being part of the color guard, you are supposed to respond to your own commands, just like a parade staff, just like a flag detail. You're part of the formation and not outside of the formation. So I know it runs counter to what everybody gets drilled into their heads, that the commander must be at attention when calling commands. Well, not in this case. But that's a good rule of thumb to get used to. So I just wanted to address something with the rifle. So the 1903 is not in the yeah, you have 1903s. Oh, better image there, better angle. So I'll just stay right there for just a sec. So with me having 24 years of nothing but Air Force drill, and then 2 years of Army mixed in there, and then but that was 18 years ago, and ever since it's been a melange of all the services plus ceremonial. My muscle memory and my brain constantly go back to, when you go to parade rest, you're going to have that hand stay in place. Always going to stay in place. Now, I have this is just me. I have big heartache with one service using another service's standard. So Texas A&M is an Army school, essentially. Just like many other schools, and yet you're marching the Marine Corps. You're in essence forced to march the Marine Corps manual because you're college, and you go to college meets, and college meets use the Marine Corps order for, I would say, maybe 95% of the competitions. Not all of them, but it's a pretty high number, and so I understand that the methodology of taking the when you're at parade, when you're at attention here, your hand is wherever it needs to be, as long as your arm is extended. But then going to parade rest, you slide that hand up underneath. I get it. I'm not thrilled with it, but then again, that's just a personal issue with me, and really my bias. Honestly, I've got to be aware of that, and not critically judge when this happens. You're sliding the hand up for parade rest. The Marine Corps order doesn't have a 1903 in it. The Marine Corps order does have an M1 Garand, and so we could extrapolate the technique for the M1 Garand to match the 1903, since they're more or less the same type of rifle. it's unlike the M14, where it doesn't have the M14 has a barrel that sticks out several inches and no handguard out there. So I understand the hand sliding up, and it's just an issue that I've got to get over, that you're doing fine with. So you're doing well. So the command would be colors and not color guard. And guards, when you went to, we can come back here. See, as you're at attention and even parade rest, you can see the butt of the rifle, the toe, is past your toes. So when you're at attention, it doesn't matter what service, when you're at attention, you want all three toes aligned. So that means the toe of the butt of the rifle, and then that, let's say my hand is my right foot, then those two toes are going to be aligned, and then we know that my two toes of my feet, the boots or the shoes that I'm wearing, they're going to already be aligned. So I want that to be aligned there. And that just takes a ton of muscle memory. When you're going to order, you bring the rifle down, you're going to let it hover in that position so that the toe of the rifle is right next to the toe of the right foot, and then you're pushing the rifle in so that it's grounded up against your boot in this case. And then as you set it down and rock it back immediately, then you're set.
Yes, Gunnery Sergeant. Carry dollars.
Nice job. Hate the arm pin. And I know that's just me, and I use the word hate. I do. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. That's not the technique. Not the technique. So your arm needs to be relaxed. So the way I look at it is, sure, that might help with a windy situation. I kind of doubt it. It's just a made up technique. It's a lot of Navy JROTCs use that. Because the cadet field manual, which needs to be ignored for drill and ceremonies, has this position. It doesn't get used in the military. So Marine Corps order has this as the carry technique. All right. So the wrist is relatively neutral to it. Obviously, you're not. You can't have a completely neutral wrist here. So your elbow is going to be relaxed, not pinned. Good job. Love that the elbows, the free arms were. So, and I know that this is a big sticking point for a lot of teams. Honestly, I have to tell you, you're doing a great job, but this is actually ceremonial technique. The ankles brought up to the knee, that's more ceremonial type technique, and then coming in shoulder to shoulder, that's also ceremonial technique. Although you're kind of crushing each other. However, anyway, mark time means that the toe is lifted 2 inches off the marching surface, the deck, the grass here, and then the heel is 4 inches off the deck. And then you're supposed to form, meaning stand, form and march at close interval only. Got some toe rotation in there for right rifle guard. His I can see that his heel strikes and then his toe rotates inward, and actually I forget what that's called. So you're coming together, you bring the feet together, and then going right into the movement. So I understand the technique, and I just finished a video that explains the initiation into this movement and how this could be perceived as the proper technique, but it isn't. So you don't bring your feet together and then go into the wheel movement. You're supposed to execute a half step. Well, 3 members of the team execute half step. Well, in this case, 4 members of the team execute half step, and then one of the members executes a type of mark time, a modified mark time. The mark time is the individual, the Marine Corps bearer here is actually going to mark time, but it's modified in that the Marine Corps bearer is going to rotate with the team so that you're going to make that left wheel. So it would be appropriate for the Marine Corps color bearer to then initiate that half step or the mark time as usual, bringing the heels together and then going into the movement. However, nobody else should, and it would look very strange to have one member do that and then the rest do something different, because you're all actually going to half step-ish, a metered step, 2 of you going forward, 2 of you going backwards for the joint service wheel. So it just addressing this as a normal marching going into a half step is going to be your best bet, instead of closing the feet. And I understand that it can look really good. Love the timing here. The feet are just doing so well. So it should be 1 snap out, and then 1 snap back. It's a 1 count movement. I'm not a fan of it, not at all. With the popping it out and then popping it back, I much prefer the 3 count that's used in ceremonial drill, and it's used because it looks so much better. But nice job. Well, so you're moving just like you have your backs are nailed to a board, and that's really good. But it's easier to do that when you're marching shoulder to shoulder. Much more difficult when you have the proper spacing of close interval. So how would a judge address this? How would a judge... Oh, interesting step technique there for the mark time. Our right rifle guard, it brings his feet up, and he's a bit pigeon-toed with the toes rotating inward. That's a hip issue, actually, initiated at the hip. So what we can see here also is right rifle guard is pointing his toes and nobody else is. You're really supposed to just let the foot hang naturally. That's why the Marine Corps says 2 inches for the toe, 4 inches for the heel. It's just supposed to hang naturally, and you lift and set the foot down. The toe leaves last, toe strikes first for that mark time step. But you can see there. You can see especially the left, the heel is way out there. Sorry, it just fascinates me. So, and then you split. That was an excellent split, by the way. That really was. That was just fantastic. And look at that alignment as well. Excellent job. Not supposed to do it, but you did a really, really good job. Nicely done. Nicely done. So, like I was going to say, how is a judge supposed to address this? The team marching shoulder to shoulder. Are you supposed to give fewer points because of each of the movements that are performed, like the wheel movement. You're doing an excellent job, but how's the judge supposed to then give points for that? You're supposed to then look at it as, like I was saying, okay, you did a great job on those wheels, but you're marching shoulder to shoulder, so it's affecting each of those movements positively, but it's going to give you fewer points. Excellent job, really. So, and the command is colors, by the way. Air Force, Space Force, the only ones that say color guard for some strange reason, because we all have to be different. So it's going to be colors, attention, colors, halt. But all right, I hope that makes up for the last time. And that's just a personal thing between us. But really, the team did a very good job. It's just the instructors at the time, the gunny, as well as the advisors, the cadet advisors, just taught you wrong. You did an excellent job with the wrong teaching, though, but still they taught you wrong. So that's unfortunate. But that was really quite a good performance. So, and thanks for giving me a second chance. I appreciate that. All right, I hope my comments were helpful. Thank you.